o'clock. Let's get the very latest, though. He joins us every single week. It's brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance, also Zogs on Fox Island. And again, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. They've got honesty, fairness, and integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley. Do not contact him today. He's playing golf, and then when he's playing golf, he's going to go right from the golf course to watch the Masters. But call him anyways. Leave a message, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game. Check out Zogs on Facebook and Instagram for their hours and event times. Here he is, America's #1 NFL insider.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, good, because we were just using this computer for something else and they couldn't hear me, so I was worried.
You sound great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great. This is my favorite day of the year. Now, we are both avid golfers. Are you an avid golfer watcher?
No, not really.
No. You just like to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch Sunday, but
so this doesn't do it for you.
I'm very busy. Aren't you busy? Like, you're doing a show. How do you have
I am busy, but I'm distracted. I'm not even paying attention today.
That makes two of us.
I'm just watching golf. That's I'm I just keep peering behind me, and I got a lot of money on Rory McIlroy. I bet a lot with my heart this week.
What's a lot?
Just a lot. Just just make me uncomfortable.
$10,000 or $10?
Yeah, not that uncomfortable.
Listen, man, I grew up in South Philly. We had a lot of kids, a couple grand in the hole in like 9th grade. Okay, I've seen it all.
That's impressive.
You know, my buddy,
Impressive.
I won't say his name. My buddy was in a huge hole. Sunday goes into Monday, and he's like, "My dad's gonna kill me. My brother doesn't know. Like, we got to go hard on this Monday night game here." I'm like, "Well, how much you down?" Now it might not sound that crazy. It may have been like 1,000 or something like that.
But back then, it's a lot.
For us in high school, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So he puts in. I tried to go back and figure it out. This is a good one though. I think he put in a reverse, which a reverse bet is if you lose one side, you lose one bet, but if you lose two sides, you basically double the loss. But if you win both, you win 4 times your money. So let's say you put it in for 500 and he was going to win 2,000, but he could lose either 5 or 1,000. And I believe it was like this sucker bet of all sucker bets. Minnesota was good. Green Bay was not. Green Bay was like 3-6. Minnesota was like 6-3. It was a Monday night game. If you don't know where I'm going yet, wait till you hear this one.
Okay.
And I think Green Bay was like favored. It's like, how is the dog favored? Right? I couldn't, or maybe it was the over, or maybe it was Minnesota by 3 and the over. He took the under, but he needed the game to stay under. Long story short, the last thing that he needed in overtime was a Green Bay touchdown. It was the Antonio Freeman catch the ball off his back game.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I think that's what it was. I think Minnesota was favored by 3 or 3.5. He needed a Minnesota touchdown or maybe like a field goal for a push or something like that. And it was like, well, the worst thing that could happen is for Green Bay to score a touchdown. And he did what?
Oh, my God. I have never heard of that type of bet. I gotta do some research on that one.
I don't even know if it was like a South Philly thing or if it's an actual real thing that you could do. I have no idea. But
that sounds like a South Philly type of bet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's a style of bet I've never heard of. I love that. God, that's good. Are all these South Philly boys that you grew up with? Like, will they bet on the NFL draft like every pick?
Oh God, yeah. And they ask me, and I say 2 things. 1, I can't tell you. 2, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Did they try to call you for insider knowledge?
Of course. I'm not allowed to, number 1. Sure. And number 2, even like I'm not even allowed to guess, like say like, hey, I think this might happen. But regardless, like, look, have you seen the reports on Cleveland?
The latest, like in regards to Watson?
2 months ago, Cleveland's taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, Cleveland's taking Abdul Carter. Now Cleveland's taking Travis Hunter. Psst. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Of course not. Yeah.
Nobody knows.
What do you think they're going to do?
What do I think they're going to do?
Yeah, just do you think?
Well, that's a good question. What do you
think you're going to do?
What do I think they're going to do? I think they're going to take Travis Hunter.
Really?
That's what I think. And then the Giants at that point now have to make a decision because they're actually pretty solid at pass rusher. I mentioned this. Bob Papa had me on his Manja cast last week.
Love it. That's my favorite name.
They eat while they're on but no, nobody told me I didn't have any food or they were drinking red wine.
But you usually are eating on this show. So
I'm done. I got done early today. And he goes, well, it's not like Kayvon Thibodeau's lit the world on fire. I said, look, if you think Abdul Carter is a generational pass rusher, you take Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got 3 other ones. Ernie Accorsi famously, when they took Matthias Kiwanuka, they already had Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, and Osi Umenyiora. And we were like, why'd you just take another pass rusher? And Ernie said, because you can never have too many pass rushers.
Exactly.
And he was right. They used all 4, and they won the Super Bowl in 2007. Right. And again in 2011 with Kiwanuka on the team. But then you got, do we go edge rusher? Do we take the quarterback? And I've gone every different possible way on this one for the Giants. I think it's I want Hunter to I want, well, it doesn't matter. I want them on the clock. Do we take Sheduer or do we take a position player? Because now you say, well, we take a position player, he'll contribute immediately, he'll help us win, maybe enough games to keep our job. Great, but now you're in the middle of the first round and you still need a quarterback. Or you take the quarterback and go, let's pray to God we win enough games that we keep our job, and then we've got the quarterback moving forward. Great, awesome. Tough call.
Okay, give me what is going on with the quarterback situation with Cleveland, with like Watson?
Well, he thinks he's still in it.
Okay.
He's wrong. Listen, I think it's gonna amount to what Denver did with Russell Wilson, which is we've got one more year that we are just going to have to eat it. We're going to pay $46 million or whatever it is to Deshaun Watson to not play quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 2026. That's what I believe. Right now he's injured. They've got an insurance policy. They can get some of that back, blah, blah, whatever. But when it comes to 26, and listen, they could take a quarterback at 2. And if they do, and it's like, dude, that's it. It's over. Or they trade, the Kirk Cousins trade. Kirk Cousins, I believe I told you here on this program, is not going anywhere until after the first round of the draft because he doesn't want what happened in Atlanta to happen to him again. If Cleveland takes a position player at 2 and says, okay, Kirk, you believe us now? Let's make this trade happen. I could absolutely see that happen.
And that makes a lot of sense, does it not?
Makes a ton of sense for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, you ask me right now what's going to happen. I think Cleveland does not go quarterback. They take a position player. Let's call it Travis Hunter. And
I like it.
And then they trade for Kirk Cousins. And they say, hey, look, we had enough talent to make the roster. We had enough talent to make the roster. Which phone is beeping? I'm changing phones.
I don't know. How many phones do you have?
I have 2. I will never have more than one. I have 2. How do I know on the new phone? Hold for silent. See, I got a new phone now. I'm all
okay.
So we're currently restoring here. So yeah, I think that's probably how it's gonna wind up playing out.
If can I make a plea? Do you know people within the Browns organization? A good relationship with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking.
I played high school football against Kevin Stefanski. His team was awesome.
Oh, you did?
Sucked.
Perfect. Yes. I want you to reach out to Stefanski and just plead for me.
On which phone? I don't know which one's working right now.
I don't know. Whatever phone you can reach Stefanski at. And just ask him and plead with him. If they do get Kirk Cousins, can they ask Bernie Kosar, can they wear 19? Because Cousins it works. It works. Let him wear 19. Have they retired?
Help me out here. What's is there
19? I just like Bernie Kosar. Remember Bernie Kosar wore 19. Kirk Cousins reminds me of Bernie Kosar. I just think he should wear it. It's a perfect fit.
Okay, Stefanski's got. I got to call Kosar and I got to call Cousins on that one. So
fine, but I mean, just let's plead to him. I mean, no one wears 19 anymore.
Help me out. Is 8 taken with the Browns? I don't know.
No, it's probably not. It's probably available. When I was a kid growing up, I loved those Browns teams because Bernie Kosar. I'd never seen anyone throw a football like that. It was so odd, but he was good and effective. And then he wore 19. Who wears 19? It's such an odd number. Although, didn't Unitas wear 19? Now that I think about it,
sounds right.
Yeah, it's before my time.
My time as well. I will give him a call.
Yeah.
I will give him a call, and I will. I gotta lock my office door. My daughter's home. Hold on.
Here you go. You don't need them storming in, busting up the joint. I just thought, Kosar, Cousins, 19. Just all works. It just fits together. The dog pound, all of it. Okay, so they go Hunter. Let's say they go Hunter there. And then the Giants have a decision. They got all those quarterbacks. They paid all this money to all these guys. I know it's not a ton, but do they then, I mean, would you be surprised? Not surprised they take Sanders there at 3?
I would not be surprised. I don't know if that's where I am right now with them, but I would not be surprised. I know that there was a lot of work and a lot of direction toward that. Not even early in the offseason, late last season. So I don't know if anything's changed during the process. I know Daniel Jeremiah and our folks who covered the pro day, Brian Baldinger was there. They didn't love what they saw from Sheduer at that pro day. Okay. And I don't, pro days to me can only hurt you, right? Yeah. And I think, there was talk of his ball was a little wobbly. And, is he the kind of guy that can play in conditions and drive the ball where it needs to be? We'll see. So, I think maybe throughout the process they could have seen stuff and had some close-up interactions. And even with the other guys, like Travis Hunter's a stud. He's just a stud. Yeah. On and off the field.
He really is.
Yeah. And listen, that's why with the talk of he's going to get to New England. How does he get out of the top 3? How does he get out of the top 3?
He'd be perfect in New York.
He's just generational. Yeah. I mean, generational. That's the word that I'm using.
Did we talk I mentioned last it earlier week? Yeah, but did we talk last week about him?
I don't think we talked last week at all.
Did we not?
Which, by the way, I'm away next week too, so we got to.
So am I. So we're good. We're good. So am I as well.
I heard you say when you brought him in, he joins us every week. That has not been the case of late.
That's okay though. Well, sometimes it's however the schedule works. It's fine. Yeah. Does he want assurances? I thought we talked about this from teams. You're drafting me as a wide receiver.
No, not that I gather. Okay. Not that I gather. I think
because he'll make more money as a wide receiver.
Yeah, but what if he's a cornerback plus? Now you can say, what if he's a wide receiver plus? When he does a deal in 3 years, it's going to be if he pans out and if he's playing both ways. I doubt he's going to play both ways full time. He's going to be like third down, come in at cornerback, or 3 receiver, 4 receiver sets. He comes in those sets. It'll be a Shohei Ohtani type deal where you're paying for, let's call it 1.5. You're paying for 1.5 players. So he's going to make his money regardless. And I think teams are really drafting him and saying, we'll have that conversation afterward. I don't get the sense that it's really happened. Like, hey, we want to play you here. They don't have to. They can draft him and say, here's where we see you. I don't see it as a major stumbling block for any of these teams. Mm.
Is he the best player in the draft?
Yeah, I believe so.
You think the Titans would shock the world and take him 1?
I don't. I think they're taking Cam Ward. I do. We haven't seen that. I mean, I think Cleveland tried to generate it, with Baker Mayfield, but we all knew they were going Mayfield there at 1. So I think, they're on the clock. They didn't call until 3 minutes left or something, which they're always instructed to do. I remember Steve Keim just sitting there, and there was a shot of the Cardinals war room. There was only 3 guys there, and they were just sitting there and okay, now I'll pick up the call and call Kyler Murray.
I enjoyed. Hey, what is there any buzz around Seattle? Any what's the rumorville around what they may do or may not do at 18?
You're now in the realm of, I mean, they were sort of there last year where we saw them taking Byron Murphy. Mm-hmm. They had, who did I just report the other day? They had a edge rusher in or a defensive lineman in. Come on, Puck. You're usually all over my reports.
No, the defensive lineman. I know they just had the Georgia center in for a visit, and they had Jalen Milroe in for a visit, the Alabama quarterback.
Yeah, I don't see the Milroe thing. I could be. I mean, Milroe's going to be a little later if possible. Was it Michael Williams?
Okay, sure.
It's
your report.
Dude.
I mean, I can help you. Look it up, but I don't.
Here it is, Michael Williams. Yes, the Georgia edge rusher. That's who it was. Okay. Was in with the. Oh, that's right, because he did the tour of the NFC West. He did 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals. So yeah, I mean, listen, there could be the need for some help at the on that side of the ball, helping to get after the quarterback. So I think once you're in the back half, once you're past 16, you're at the mercy of what's going to happen in front of you. So I think they can go in a number of ways, and they're certainly showing you by their interest pre-draft and what they're doing. It's offensive line, it's defensive line. Jalen Milroe is not going to be a first round. I don't think he's going to be
sure.
They're shocked. We've got him on Good Morning Football tomorrow. I'm on Good Morning Football, so be interested to see what kind of interactions he's had. But I think he goes later.
But when you report on these visits, I mean, are these like legitimate, or are teams doing this as like a smokescreen?
I don't believe they're a smokescreen. I think it's just especially when you're up high. Like you're up high. The Giants brought in everybody in that cluster of 2, 3, 4, 5 picks, right? So you do that and say, nobody's going to know what we're doing because these are the guys projected to go there. I think once you get into a little bit later in the first round, you'll start to see clusters at one position, which kind of gives you an indication of where they're looking, because it's hard to kind of bring in everybody at that point because there's so many options available. I don't think there's smoke screens. Now, listen, just because the guy's coming in doesn't mean they're interested in him. I mean, a lot of times it's we need more information on this guy. I've sometimes you put out like, oh, this guy's been incredibly busy. He had 13 visits, and I've had agents say, why is the agent putting that out? That's a bad thing. That means people have a lot of questions. If a guy's on 2 visits, that's a good thing, So, listen, it fills the time. I reported a workout recently, and one of the coaches from the team was like, "Why is that considered a big deal? Like we're working out a guy. Of course we're going to work out guys." I said because it gives us something to talk about.
It's just the NFL. We were some buddies and I were sitting at the baseball game yesterday, just joking about this. Like you think about like the NFL draft, right? It's in Green Bay, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Think how many people are going to be there to go sit there and watch the NFL draft. Like we were talking about like bucket list items, like if you could go into any sporting event. And I was talking about the Masters, and we were coming up with a bunch of other stuff. But they're like, well, what about the NFL draft? Or one of these guys who said, I want to go to the NFL draft. I'm like, why? Why would you want to go watch that?
Well,
sit with all those people and like watch the draft? Like that doesn't sound fun to me. But you're gonna, when the draft comes around in a couple of weeks. Yeah. There's going to be, how many people are going to be there? Like 100,000?
In Green Bay? I don't know how that town's going to be able to hold that many people.
But that's what they get in other cities, right?
Yeah.
It's something around that figure.
Yeah, traffic on the way out. I know they're not used to traffic either. It's going to be pretty brutal.
It's going to be nuts. People eat it up.
Yeah. I mean, Green Bay doesn't get these events. They get Packers games. That's it. They don't get 3-day huge events like that.
How are they going to handle this?
I don't know, and I'm not there, and I'm not worried about it. So I've gone to 3 drafts in my life, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Radio City. The one in Radio City was awesome. Yeah. Awesome. I don't think, for some reason, I was not – because I was at Fox for the 2 in Chicago, and I was not in the building for the first round, only the second round. I don't know why. I don't know what my assignment would have been. But Radio City, I was there for the start of the first round. It was pretty electric. I was like, this is a really cool event. Okay. Have you ever seen the Bill Burr rip on the NFL draft?
No, but I'm going to have to go watch it because I love Bill Burr.
It takes a turn, and it involves Michael Sam because it was around that time.
Okay. Yeah, well.
But there's a part where he just rips on the tree. He's like, why are you – they're going to have all the names the next day. He goes –
Yeah,
let me let Bill Burr tell his own
joke. I'd rather just sit at home and watch it. I want to get Aaron Rodgers here before we let you go, but first, the Geno Smith thing gets introduced press conference, and it said all the right things, but then there was the classic, and all athletes do this, and I felt disrespected.
You did?
No, he did. He said I felt disrespected by them.
Of course he did. He wanted more money.
But it's not like he got more money from the Raiders, but it's not like the Raiders offered him like security forever. It really is almost kind of a 1-year deal too.
Of course it is. He didn't get much more. He got what? Base value, he got 37.5 or something.
Yeah.
And he was offered 35 from Seattle. Yeah. And I actually made this mistake, and somebody was in my Instagram deep DMs. I found it, but sometimes there's good, valuable information. Okay. And in this case, the guy saved me from making the mistake again. I said, well, he's going to a tax-free state. I had no idea you guys were a tax-free state. I screwed that one up. So it's not like, because I said, well, he was getting 35 in Seattle.
Oh, I got you.
And 37, which is really like a bigger jump. No, I didn't realize you guys are no state income. How awesome is that? That's great.
Well, I mean, yes and no, but then, when you go buy liquor and it's, it's something's $20 and then all of a sudden you check out and it's $900. I mean, there's
I don't know how that works. I mean, I always wonder where you people get your money for your roads and your bridges and whatever.
Right? You know what? Property taxes That's what it is. Every year a property tax goes up.
Yeah, but we have that too.
Yeah, I don't. You guys don't you double dip, don't you?
Yeah. Wait, I mean, we're getting
Yeah,
crushed on income and on property tax.
That's why we don't. That's why we don't live.
And we have taxes when we go to the store too, like
and tolls.
and tolls.
They just get you everywhere.
And
nonstop.
The houses are more expensive and the food's more expensive.
It's almost on par out. Actually, no, it's like Seattle and like where you're at is like on par now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it's whatever. It's all
you're
expensive.
Still making out. Trust me.
Yeah. I would say. All right, so. Yeah, so he didn't get some great security from the Raiders. No. I mean, he's going to a coach he loves and respects and all that, but it's not like the Raiders rolled out the red carpet and said, "Here's financial security for your life."
Yep, and that's why it took long. We thought it was going to be like, boom, he got traded, and it took a couple of weeks before it finally got done. So yeah, I just sometimes it's like you get to a new place. It's like Tyreek Hill. He was in Kansas City. Oh, I want to go to Miami. Give him 3 years now. He was asking for a trade out of there, which supposedly they patched it up. But it's just a new. It's like people who can't settle down. They want a new girlfriend or a new wife every couple of years. Which, you know what? Maybe they've got it figured out. I don't know.
I think they might. You never know. All right, Aaron Rodgers. What is going on with this? I mean, this is like the longest episode or series of The Bachelor.
If and when he signs with the Steelers, he's going to have to, even if it's not fully accurate, right? He's going to have to say, no, it wasn't about the Steelers and another team. It was about, do I want to continue to play? Last year was very tough on me physically and mentally, and the toll of the recovery. And like he's got to say it was like, do I really want to commit fully? And yes, I took the time, and now I'm ready to go. If I hadn't taken that time, I wouldn't be. So you're getting the best version of me.
Right.
But Aaron, call me. I can write you your notes for your press conference right there. I mean, it's got to be that. And there was at some point the thought of whether he wants to continue play, and it may still be going through it. I don't know. He's not talking, and trust me, I'm not going to be the one like people in Aaron's circle because it's a super tight circle. And even the people that I do get to in there go, you guys don't know what you're talking about. So there was definitely a, play versus not play, then play for who type of thing. I'm surprised that we don't have something now. The Steelers are 1,000,000% going to lean on him before the draft and be like, dude, come on, man. We got to make a decision here. So, and at that point, it could be a move at 20 or 21, wherever they are. That could change things. So we'll see.
Yeah, because they're at 21. I mean, there could be in a world where Sanders would fall all the way down to 21 to him.
Yeah, if Sheduer gets past the Giants, I know people are talking about the Saints. I don't see the Jets taking him. I don't see the Raiders making that move. There's too many other good position players in the top 10. It could be a slide at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, enjoy your time off next week.
Yeah, next week. And then the week after, we're into day one of the draft. What's our plan there? Are you going to have your little
if we want to do it again, it's up to you.
It's up to me.
If you want to, I mean, yeah, I'm going to do it again. I got to get on that.
If you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
I'm a procrastinator. I just keep putting stuff off. And
I'm saying, my decision does not affect your decision. You're going to do it.
Yes. And I write down all these little Post-it notes, and all my Post-it notes on my desk is, hey, NFL draft show, let's get that going. I wrote that a month ago.
All right. I may pop in and out a little bit more this time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be fun. All right. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
You got it, buddy. Enjoy your golf.
Yeah, thank you. There he is, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance. It's your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Great spot. As the weather is getting warmer, grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch your favorite game at Zogs on Fox Island. Find their hours and event times on Facebook and Instagram. All right.